right? I mean, if I say you always do something, or if you tell me that, I instantly, my mind goes into, I can think of 100 times I didn't do that. So now you're just being mean to me. So I don't even hear, you know what I mean? Like, like it just puts you on the defense.
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world.
All right, guys, we're back. So we're continuing our conversation on connection, what creates disconnection and connection. We're using some specific examples, which is good. Chrissy's over here whipping around her cold shoulder on people. Right? Before we get going, though, I do have a question. What time do ducks wake up?
When?
The quack of dawn.
Dang, I actually knew that, too.
I think you did. Okay, how about this one? Why was the broom late?
Why?
It overswept.
Right, I knew that one too. I've told those jokes before.
What does a painter do when he gets cold?
What?
He puts on another coat.
Duh.
What did the calculator say to the pencil?
What?
You can count on me.
You can count on me.
All right. Back to serious time. Okay, so we were talking about things that can create disconnection. I'll throw a couple in here too. I think things that can create connection are things like raising your voice with each other. Right? That's a big one. And that's why we have to all figure out how to be able to, as you said last episode, how to be able to, I don't know if I want to use the word fight, but how do we be able to manage conflict? Or disagreements with honor. And it's not easy in the moment. It takes a lot of training and discipline, but it does minimize like the things that kind of stick with you, and so we've worked pretty hard on that one. Let's see. I wrote down another one is when you're trying to talk something out, not really listening to understand the other person's perspective versus you're just prepping for a debate.
That's fair. That's
Guilty.
big in our house.
Guilty. We have some junior attorneys in the house sometimes, so we have to work pretty hard on this, right? For me and Mom, it was like I wrote down here, her or I putting other things above each other. For instance, for me, I can have a tendency to put like work stuff above her and our connection, and just because I'm wired to provide. And so I have to keep that balance there. But also, like, especially when you guys were small, your mom could even prioritize putting you guys above her and I. Easy thing to do. You guys all need her, but we've had to work on that. What about with you guys? What about between? I really like the conversation between you siblings. What else creates connection or disconnection between you guys?
Well, I remember for surely one thing that really was like a problem with us for a while is we would keep like quote unquote keeping score of the bad things we did. And then it'd be brought up in the next argument like, so when's the last time you did so-and-so? And I remember one time I was so mad. I think Chrissy did it to me. I remember writing it down on a piece of paper, the exact date and time it happened, but I never got to use it. I was so mad.
Yeah, by the way, I made sure it didn't happen again after that.
I was so mad at her. And I'm like, if she asked me if she ever did this, I'm going to be like, oh, yes, you did. I was so mad. But I never got to use it. I remember literally going to my desk and writing down everything.
And we used to do things all the time. Like, we used to have this thing, no one makes you do anything. And so we'd be like, but Bella made me mad in the first place. No one makes you do anything. Or it'd be like, but Chrissy made me fall. No one makes you do anything. And we would pull
I mean,
that one out.
You might have, because you used to fall a lot. You could pull some people down with you.
Yeah, I was really clumsy when I was young.
For those that don't know, it's a running joke because at any given moment, probably half a dozen times a day in the house, you would just hear a ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom somewhere in the house. I'm okay.
And he's not even exaggerating. It was like 5 or 6 times every day. And somehow I decided to do gymnastics and dance. I don't even know where that came from, but I got really good at falling. I just say,
Yeah, that's true.
I have like permanent scars from roller skating and all the things because I always had a lot of confidence around doing things, and then I'd mess it all up and get scraped up.
That's funny. Okay. Anything else?
I had one a minute ago, and then you distracted me.
Oh, I remember one. Sorry.
No one can distract you.
I remember one.
No one can make
No
you
one makes you
distracted.
do anything.
You guys are silly.
I think when you taught us and we had to learn how to never, don't say never and always when it came to an argument, because
Good.
that really stuck with us. And you're like, you always do so and that, this and that, and you never do this and this. And I remember you caught us doing it because it had repeatedly done that, and you were like, me and Mom had to go through this. And it's nice also getting that clarity that you guys also went through it. So it's just normal that it just happens, and how we got to really start breaking it off to a point where we had to do it where if you say it, just because it hurts somebody's identity a lot. And so you got to make sure that you're watching out what you're saying. I remember we had the money jar, didn't we? And it's every time you said always or never, you had to put a certain amount of money in the jar just to break the habit, because it was really hurting all of our connection with each other as siblings, because there's so many of us. It's so easy just for it to slip out when you're in the heat of the moment and you're really mad and you're like, you never do this, so that I remember that was one we had to work through as siblings.
It's really good because they're fighting words, right? I mean, if I say you always do something, or if you tell me that, I instantly, my mind goes into, I can think of 100 times I didn't do that. So now you're just being mean to me. So I don't even hear, you know what I mean? It just puts you on the defense fully. And so, yeah, they're no-nos for connection.
For sure. And I feel like another thing around the same time that you taught us about was how when you say something, don't put it to their identity. Don't say, you're so rude. We changed it to, you're being really rude right now. Or, you're so annoying, right? Because that puts it right on their identity, and the subconscious doesn't know the difference. And so that was one of the biggest things, is not naming them something that they're acting, because they're not so rude and they're not
really
so annoying. Right. And I feel like another thing is, we all share rooms, because I don't think there's enough rooms in any house for us to have our own rooms. And so we all share rooms. And one of the things is sometimes we'd all get really tired at night and we'd be staying up talking and just break out in an argument. Right. And so I feel like one of the biggest things is not arguing at night when we're laying in bed and literally staying up talking. That was a big thing for us, because we would get in our worst arguments ever and then be okay in the morning. But that was a bad thing we had to fix.
Or maybe they'd give us the cold shoulder.
Yeah, maybe that.
Yeah.
I need to put a recorder up in your room and just record some of
You know
these
what?
late night
We actually now
slap happy
stop
arguments.
each other. We now stop each other now. We're like, let's not talk about this anymore.
Yeah. We literally were a lot better. But when we were in the lake house, we were really bad about it.
Oh, yeah.
So funny.
I can say I got pretty good at arguing sometimes, though, because I came up with really good negotiation points. But that's not something to be proud of, I know. But still.
So you were practicing your communication skills.
Exactly.
That's what we call it.
I was practicing my negotiation.
Okay. Here's something that I like to teach everybody that I feel like is kind of the secret sauce, if you will. What really makes connection happen within a family. And you guys live by this, so it's probably why it's not in the front of your brain, but most people don't know it. Imagine being in a family where you don't know each other's love languages or even understand the concept. It's literally, you have people that are hungry for attention, affection, and connection, but nobody around them knows how to communicate the way that they need it communicated. So that's instantly going to be, people are going to feel misunderstood, right? Just think about it.
Yeah, I don't remember a time I didn't know about the love languages.
Right.
So yeah, I'd never really thought about that. It's just
last
kind of a way of life.
Last night we were reviewing them, and you're going through 8 people in our household, and most of you guys knew them of each other. You might kind of had one where it's on the edge, but we all know it, and we pay attention to it because we know that to show love to other people, this is stuff that we need to do.
Right, and I feel like also a really big thing about that is when you are arguing, if you poke right at their love language, in the opposite effect, it's going to hurt them worse. For instance, Bill and I are both words people, so our arguments get really ugly sometimes when we are younger because we're so sensitive to them, to the words coming, at us, that we would both just get meaner and meaner because we're both so hurt by the things that each other are doing, right? Or like whenever I'm doing different things with the different love languages, if I poke right at the opposite of their love language, that's going to hurt them the most. And so I feel like also being aware of that, because that's the thing that'll create disconnection the fastest for sure.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, or it's if you have a physical touch love language and you just withhold it. Jerus is way physical touch, right? I'm physical touch, but that boy, he is physical touch.
He's as physical touch as they come.
Well, he's sanguine and physical touch, so
great combination.
Oh, yeah.
He needs a lot of hugs in one day.
He needs a lot of hugs in one day, but I know though, even just like little things. I mean, we're at the basketball game, you, me, and Drews watching Bella. And that little boy, he is just like constantly pressing on me. I'm like leaning on you because he's pressing on me so much. I leave the basketball game and my back is weirdly sore. And, everybody's like, why? You didn't play. I'm like, I know. But I was holding this kid, this almost 6 foot tall kid, like leaning like this the whole time. But you know what? I could either just like ignore it or I can just put my arm around him. And I even caught myself because like part of the way through the game, I was getting a little bit annoyed by it, And finally, I'm just like, all right, this is his love language. So I just put my arm around him or just put my hand, like near him. And he just needs it. And so he walks out of there, on cloud 9 because he had his love tank full. But understanding love languages matters.
And here's the other thing is that for some reason, whenever he wants to annoy us, it comes out through physical touch. And so he will not keep his hands off of us. He'll just like start slapping me or punching me randomly or like come out and jump on my back randomly. I'm like, just get off of me.
He's just a boy.
I know.
That's what it is.
Plus a sanguine and a physical touch guy.
Yeah. So knowing each other's love languages and then making the conscious decision to try to accommodate them. Even other things like, how about just personality types like we talked about? The biggest thing is this. I really think that all of us have to have a perspective that God made us the way he did on purpose. And I know we talk about this, but a lot of families, they don't talk about this stuff. And so just like you said earlier about the comparison thing, if one type of personality is even being applauded or recognized more than the other ones, then the people who don't have that personality can think that they're lesser. Or that it isn't as important or something. I mean, I remember when Bella, because her natural personality is probably a little bit of that peaceful phlegmatic, but also I think probably choleric is in there too.
Oh my gosh, that girl. You would never know she's phlegmatic when she's doing stuff. Like, especially at home. Like, she seems like she's choleric. But that's also because every single other person in this family is choleric.
Yeah.
So it's easy to, not notice her strengths or her weaknesses coming from just being phlegmatic, so it's
and so I mean it's interesting because I remember her saying something recently. She's like, I kind of want to take the test again, and it triggered something in me thinking, I wonder if I or maybe even all of us to a certain extent are downplaying her natural personality. And she's starting to almost wish she had a different one, right?
Right, because that'd be really easy to do.
It would be easy to do. So it was like, okay, mental check note. I got to make sure that I'm loving her for who she is, reminding her she's made the way she is. We don't want people trying to, obviously you don't want to live in your weaknesses. But you can be a peaceful phlegmatic and be a very competitive person, be a very disciplined person, a very organized person, a get things done person, which she has turned into. You can also be a peaceful phlegmatic and live in your weaknesses and actually be lazy, right? And I think she's had to kind of work that out of herself with maturing. And so now I just have to remind her that it's okay that you're a high performing peaceful phlegmatic,
Right, exactly. I feel like the biggest thing about me is, where she's, Abby and Bella are obviously twins, and then there's me. I am the most productive, get it done, never be late, always have things, in line, organized. I'm going to get my work done before I play. And she isn't naturally that way. And so we share a bed. And her side of the bed, I have to close my eyes when I walk by every day because it's so messy.
No, don't be exaggerating.
I'm joking.
That's a little far.
I'm joking, okay? It just gets messier than mine. And mine's like beautifully clean. And I'm like, Bella, why don't you just have it in you to clean up your stuff? But then I realized it's just personality types, right? It's just how we are. And we learn to live with each other. Because I bet sometimes I'm a little bit much for her too, like always being on her
And
about
that
getting her stuff done.
stubbornness of that personality. It's like the more you impress her, the more she's going to resist it.
Exactly. And so I'm trying to figure out when's the right time to tell her to clean up her stuff and when's not. But yeah, it's just little things.
For the record, though, she's gotten a lot better. I just got to say, because I can see it every time because my bed's right across from theirs. So I can definitely say she's gotten a lot better.
She has gotten a little better. And here's what helps is that we have a very detail-oriented, very organized, choleric mom that helps me out with that kind of stuff, which is great. But I feel like also another thing with my personality is I'm so strong-willed that sometimes, like, for instance, Drews is really sanguine and he's really easygoing. I think he's also had to be that having all of us girls in the family. But I feel like sometimes he's just easier, right? Like sometimes he just doesn't argue. He doesn't put in his opinion all the time, right? Things like that. So I feel like sometimes like, wouldn't it just be easier to be that personality? Because I feel like I'm so like always needing to, say my opinion and things like that. But
It's good. Pause here. We'll do one more episode.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.